Just a couple updates on our team, and first talk about Wilhelm and where he is at with his rehab and where he is in his process. He's doing phenomenal. He's pretty much doing everything non-contact right now, not quite full speed, doing about 80%, and we should get him hopefully out for contact drills in the next 3 weeks. We're going to continue to ramp him up. We're going to take it slow. But he is making great progress. His legs, in the testing that we're doing, his jump numbers are exactly where they were pre-injury. So we feel really good about where Wilhelm is. He's out there with the guys. When he's not participating, he's being a great vocal leader like he did last year at the end of the season. So really happy where things are with Wilhelm. Sam Griesel had surgery to repair his labrum in his hip on March 31st, and he is way ahead of schedule. He has no pain in his hip right now. We have to make sure we talk to him about being patient. He's just itching to get out there with his guys, with his teammates. But, you know, we have to stick with the rehab plan. He's doing as much as possible right now. He was cleared to do some full body work in the weight room. He's doing a couple days a week on the bike. He's getting in the pool, but way ahead of where most people are with this type of procedure. Hope to get him out, more basketball on-court work in the middle of July. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, we'll get Sam out there on the floor. But another guy that's doing a phenomenal job helping lead his teammates right now and doing everything that he can with the injury, with where he's at. But both those guys are in a really good place, and we should not have any limitations at the beginning of the season.
So with all that being said, how was the last month gone as far as integrating the new pieces? I know some guys are still limited, but just getting the process of starting this new group together.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the new guys. The thing that I've really noticed when you get guys like with Immanuel, when you get guys like Jawan, when you get guys like Sam that are coming from winning programs and have played in the NCAA tournament, have played postseason basketball, you see the leadership that comes with that. They've really exceeded my expectations as far as what they've done for the chemistry of this group. And, it's not only in this gym, but these guys are hanging out together. They've been together as a team off the court every week. They're doing a couple team activities together. It's really been a lot of fun to see how this group has come together in a short amount of time. And, they genuinely want to be with each other. And, the pickup that they're playing on the weekends, they're coming in and organizing that on their own. So yeah, I've just loved everything that this group has shown and is all about. And once we get healthy, fully healthy, I'm really excited about where things are and what's to come.
What sort of impacts has Sam had on some of the younger guys, particularly the guys who are going to have the ball?
Well, you can see Sam, like when we're going through our offensive script sessions and when we're doing some live activity. Let's take Kale, for example, or Ramel or Jamarcus, the young guys that are coming in. You really challenge your older guys to be a leader and be a sounding board for those players. When they're off, after they get their rep, you see a guy like Sam who can show them the little things and, the little nuances that are involved in the system and the offense. Sam is watching film right now in the offense, and you can already tell he's got a great feel for what we want to get out of it. So, it's great to see when you have an older veteran-type player, and you see the same thing with Immanuel, what he's doing for Jamarcus and Ramel, kind of those combo-type guard positions. But, yeah, again, the leadership that Sam is showing is exactly what we heard about Sam, and it's going to pay off. Our young guys are going to look back on this time and know that they were very fortunate to have played with Sam Griesel.
It's kind of the first summer that you guys have had that hasn't been affected by COVID in a couple years. Like even last year this time, we were still waiting on the draft. How has that helped you guys get organized and get ready?
Yeah, it's helped a lot. It's not that COVID's not a thing anymore. Obviously, it still is, and we have had a couple. I don't think the players have had it, but we've had a couple in our staff that have come down with it. You just try to be as careful as you possibly can, but it really, when you have your full group together at this time, it makes such a difference. 2 years ago, everything was individual, really all the way through the preseason. So to have these guys together has been has been phenomenal. And again, just to see the group come together and the chemistry that they're building right now is definitely going to pay off for our guys.
Is there any update on Casey? When he might be back?
Casey made his national team, so that's really exciting. It's a great opportunity for him. He just found out a couple nights ago that he made that. That's going to be huge for his future in Japan, and really proud of him for what he has accomplished over there. They're going to go to Australia and play a couple games in the next few weeks. I think July 5th, I want to say, is when they start. So hope to get Casey back at the end of July.
Are you able to do anything with the new defense yet?
Yeah, we're putting in some principles right now. A lot of June, what we're doing is we're doing a couple days of individual skill work. So we put them in small groups, and then each coach will take a player and put them through individual skill, shooting, footwork, passing, finishing, ball handling, that type of thing. And then we're taking the last 10 to 15 minutes of each session, bringing the group together, and then slowly adding our offensive and defensive parts of our systems. And then we're adding that all together. So once a week, we're doing a team workout. We get 4 hours, which we're sticking to. And that last workout, we try to get an hour where we can do 20 minutes of offense, 20 minutes of defense, and then 20 minutes of playing. And then we'll have a film session. We're saving about 15 or 20 minutes on the weekend to come in and have a good film session. And then the coaches get out of the gym and the players will play pickup on their own. But, I've liked what I've seen so far. Thing about the defense that we're installing right now is it helps to have length. And we have length across the board. When you've got Sam Griesel, who measured 6'7", when we did our combine testing a couple weeks ago, when you have your lead guard at 6'7", and then you got length across the board. Juwan Gary, is going to be somebody that I think our fans will fall in love with right away because of just his tenacity of going and getting the ball. We're changing our offensive rebounding philosophy, and we're going to get after it. I think our personnel fits better, with multiple players crashing the offensive glass this year. Blaze has been an absolute physical presence and force. When we've done our live action. Our guys aren't in the type of shape, obviously, you don't need to be in June. We're trying to slowly build them up with their workloads, but we have a much more physical, much longer team this year. And, it's not just the system we're putting in. Obviously, that's going to help your defense, whatever you're doing. But I think with the kind of the philosophies and the things that we're trying to do to install it, the guys are picking it up quickly, which is great. They're very attentive in the film sessions, and we're way ahead right now than where we were a year ago.
With Blaze, he was limited with an injury last season. Is he fully cleared to come off of that?
He is, yep. He's fully healthy. We really are looking for little small injury type things. We've had a couple, nagging little injuries, and we're being very careful with that. We don't want to have a small thing become a big thing and have it be an issue once we start playing games. But really, we had one ankle sprain that happened in a dummy drill with one of our younger players. And then other than that, we've had full participation. So that's been another thing that's been great. In the last couple of years, we've had a lot of guys sitting out. The only one right now is Sam, which is fine. Sam's going to pick things up very quickly because he's been around college basketball for a long time. But, other than that, we've really had full participation.
You mentioned that you guys are ahead of where you were in past years, and chemistry's looking better. What are the indicators? What do you see at practice that shows you that you are further?
Well, you just see everybody using their voice. If the young guys aren't talking, which they generally don't when they first get there, that's a big adjustment for young players. But you see the older guys getting on them, and then it gradually picks up. And I'm excited about our walk-on situation this year with Cale. He's been phenomenal. Sam being in the program for a year as a redshirt, knows what to do, and he's talking to the other guys, pulling guys back into the gym to get extra work. I'm excited about our other two, Henry Burt and Jeff Grace, who will be very good walk-ons for us as well. But you just see everybody using their voice, and you don't have to say it as a coach. Those guys are talking to each other about it. When we call a play, they don't start the play until everybody echoes the call. Just those little things, Jimmy, I think make a big difference. And, we lost so many close games last year. The little things are what are going to get us over the hump. They're going to get us above that line. And I'm seeing a lot of that right now. I'm very optimistic about this group doing the little things that it takes to win those close games, to execute down the stretch, to where we can be on the other end of those close ones this year.
You mentioned those walk-ons, brought in 3 new guys obviously this year. I mean, what are some of the traits you look for in walk-ons, and kind of what role do those guys play in the program?
Well, they're going to have a chance. I mean, if they show that they belong on the floor, they're going to play. And, I think we've kind of got a history of doing that. Even my days at Iowa State had a walk-on that I ended up giving a scholarship to, was a staple in our rotation. What Charlie Easley did to work himself into our rotation that first year. If those walk-ons show that they're deserving of minutes, they're going to be on the floor. And I think those guys are going to have an opportunity this season. Especially, our backup point guard are very important minutes. We're looking for somebody to come in and run the show and guard. And, Sam obviously is the guy we brought in to help us in that area. But, you got Karan, who's still a freshman, McPherson. But then those walk-ons, 3 of them have played point guard in high school with Kale, with Sam, and with Jeff Grace. So, those guys are going to have opportunity just like everybody in our roster will. And, somebody will emerge over the next couple months and show that they deserve those backup minutes.
What do you think specifically Immanuel can bring?
A lot. This kid he's as good a kid, and, I know Sam will hit on this when he gets up here as well. I have not been around many guys like Immanuel that just, such a great character kid that is all about the right things. He's all about the team. He's one of the best talkers I've been around, leadership. He's always got a smile on his face. It's very few people come into this thing where they don't have a bad day. He's one of those guys. And, you talk about the energy givers, the energy takers. He's an energy giver. So, I've been really, really impressed with Immanuel. And, hell, he's 24 years old. He should be, I guess.
How would you just talk about Sam and just how big it was to land him and just the impact you think he can have?
To have a guy that grew up with Nebraska basketball and to have a guy that used to go to the camps and grew up cheering for the Huskers. And the one thing that impressed me about Sam Griesel when he came on his visit, all he talked about was winning. He didn't talk about, what's my role, how many shots am I going to get, how many minutes am I going to play. I just want to win. And I wanted to help take Nebraska basketball to where it's never been before. It's refreshing to hear that. But to have somebody that's had a passion for this program from a young age makes a huge difference. And that's what I've seen out of Sam, and I know it's going to stay true for the entire season.
How exciting was draft night for yourself and the team seeing Bryce?
Yeah, it always brings back a lot of great memories. And, as I told Bryce, I called him the day before, and I said, listen, one thing, there's so many things that can happen on draft night that are out of your control. And the important thing is, in a couple weeks, when you put that uniform on and you're out in Las Vegas, you're going to be a professional basketball player, and you're going to be playing pro basketball. So, pretty much the teams that we thought had a lot of interest in the first round, then you see trades happen. Then you see team package their picks and move up and take a different guy. The important thing is, for Bryce, is I know he's going to a place where they really genuinely like him, and they wouldn't have traded up to get him if that wasn't the case. So, for Bryce, the opportunity to go into an organization where he is valued, where he is liked. He could have gone to a team that had 8 picks in the second round, and who knows what would have happened. So, to be in this position, I think is very important to understand. It's not about where you go. It's a matter of who you go to and how much they value you. Trey having the opportunity to go to the Clippers and playing for a former Husker in Ty Lue. So, that's a great opportunity for him as well. So there's a lot of different routes, to get to ultimately where you want to be. And, I'm excited for the opportunity ahead.
I don't know who you know about, in Charlotte, or what you know about that organization. What do you think of the fit there for Bryce?
Yeah, I think it's good. I've played against Steve Clifford's team. I'm a big fan of Steve. He's one of the coaches that I've stayed in touch with since I've been out of the pro game. And he's a guy that puts the ball in multiple players' hands. And, I think that's going to be a key for Bryce. These are a huge couple of weeks for him heading into the summer league to really put out a good first impression. Steve, I know, will be very active. That's just how he's wired. It's how he operates in their practices. So, Bryce is a chance for him to go really put a good first impression out there, is going to be there for him. But, I think the world of Steve and how he plays, certainly they wouldn't have brought him back. Obviously, they didn't think he did a great job. So, yeah, I'm excited for Bryce, and, hopefully he's there for a long time.
You you seen Lamell and Jamarcus grow more comfortable and adjust to college life?
Yeah, they're getting more vocal by the day. Jamarcus, one of the best shooters in the gym. He's got a beautiful, beautiful shooting stroke. The adjustment is huge when you go from the level they were playing at last year to where they're going to be in the Big Ten. And it's how quickly are they going to learn? How quickly are they going to adjust? I've seen two guys that have very high IQs. Both did come in a little quiet, but every day they're getting louder. And again, that speaks to the leadership of our older players to get them to buy into that. And, I think both those guys are going to be excellent players, and they'll both have a chance to be on the floor this year.